Wait, what World Cup game's going on? I know when I checked last night, I was like, man, there's nothing. Holland, Sweden, Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, yeah, nothing today. Let's do this. Everything else should be good. Why does it feel like I'm missing something? I don't know. Alright, we'll probably be able to do 2 parts today, I think. So, like, either it goes trial investigation or investigation trial. Investigation day 1, cool. Turnabout succession. So that probably means, like, Apollo taking over the company? Or maybe? Episode 4, Turnabout Succession. Dude, my desk is a mess. I should probably clean this. And this is the whole truth of this case. Mason system. Shoot, I'm illiterate. Heartbeat. Someone's in the hospital. And it's just gonna flatline, I'm assuming. Damn, someone got shot. Insta flatline. In the cyberspace. In order to understand it myself, I had to know the story of these last 7 long years. So it's related to Phoenix, right? The cards, the poker game being played. The guy dying. I guess, because we didn't know Gavin's motive. Nothing happens by chance, all is connected. Beep, beep, beep. I'm in the mainframe. Beep, beep, boop, beep, beep. The circus? And now, wait, did you stand ready to begin the final chapter of the story? She fell backwards on the stand. That must have been Phoenix Wright's client. Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Gavin. I think I literally have my last short of literally the first episode coming out today. October 7th. So this is like 3 months later. Hey Apollo, look, on TV. Look. Yeah, I'm kind of busy. Whoa, look at that. He's the last Grammy alright. Amazing. Apollo, you should be watching this. Ow. What? I was writing about our last case in my journal. Bro, that was 3 months ago. Lawyers are supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not journals. And why now? That case, yeah, 3 months ago. Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know. I want to vacuum pack the feel of the moment for later. Right now, I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lemoire disappeared. That's right, Uncle Valen did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now. I was just getting to the good part. I suppose I should watch a little TV with her. After all, her father expected me to look after her while he's away. What you're seeing is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth, happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. Oh, that's where the concert was. The Sunshine Coliseum. Hey, that's where the Gaviners concert was. Only 3 more days until miracles happen here, right before your unbelieving eyes. The legendary troupe Grammy is performing for the first time in 7 years. Why does that look like Lemoire? That's going to be great. I'm so there. You and Daddy are coming too. The legendary Grammerays. If Trucy's real father was still alive. Wait, she's related to them, huh? He'd be on that stage performing miracles. I've got the tickets and everything. Did you have to pay for those tickets? I feel like she should be getting them for free. Here's yours, Apollo. Damn, they're $70 as well. God damn, and it's evident? Dude. It better be not that hot girl that's gonna die. Are you here working hard or hardly working? Shut up, Phoenix. Hey, how have you been? Hi there, stranger. Not exactly the kind of greeting I'd want to hear from my own kid. Though he has been gone for a long time. Hahaha. How goes it, Trucy? Here, I got a present for you. Yay! Pudding. I love pudding. Ooh, it's farm fresh. And not just one pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace myself. I don't want to get fat. Well, I'm beat. That's right, Daddy. You're on a top secret mission. You've got to take it easy with the secrets, you know. Right, how right you are. Phoenix, right? So, you still can't tell us what your mission is. Maybe it is time. It has something to do with you anyways. Huh? With me? Oh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission too. Maybe you can be one of those guys. A spy. Can't I just be a defense attorney? Like a normal one? To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. Okay. Tell me, you've heard of the juris system, yes? To my knowledge, it's just like you have to be acquitted. I think that's the word. Acquitted, either guilty or not guilty, within 3 days of the actual, like, crime, I guess. And because that was a recent change. And you are... And you have to... Do you start being innocent? I feel like in some cases you start being guilty and then you have to prove yourself otherwise. And then you need to have decisive evidence and a motive. But at least for Gavin, we didn't really find a motive. We found, like, decisive evidence, but not so much a motive, though. But kinda. I'd like a rundown, though. The juris system? That's right. The new legal system. Oh, this is new. Never mind. Have you heard of it, Apollo? Nope. Maybe. Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. The juris system, huh? Wait, shouldn't... I'm a defense guy. Apollo should know about this. So what is it? So, Daddy, what's this juris system anyway? Well, Trucy, do you know what a jury is? I've heard of it. Isn't that those people who sit in the court in those old courtroom dramas? The ones who get to decide if a guy's innocent or guilty? So are they, like, adopting juries now? Because, like, the judge used to be the one that, like, acquits the thingy. Do you know, Apollo? Only from TV. It's 12 people chosen from the community, right? Well, they're talking about reviving that system. Oh, okay, so was it a thing? Now it's coming back, okay. They're calling the new system the juris system. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. Not quite that harsh. The jurors cooperate with the judge. They help analyze the case from different angles. And there will only be 6 of them under the current proposal, right? Wow, you know yourself, Apollo. Their findings directly affect the verdict. Hopefully, people will start taking the courts a little more seriously now. I feel like I'm on some kind of educational TV show, starring Dr. Wright, Dr. Wright, his assistant Trucy, and a mascot Apollo, the perfect team. Mascot? Hey! Alright, so, what's your secret mission? The juris system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like this system are always risky, Apollo. Too true. Everyone's got an opinion, and they just talk and nothing gets decided. Kind of like you, Apollo. I'm not that bad, am I? In any case, we're going to give it a shot. A test, if you will. I don't like tests. We'll take a case as a sample and choose 6 jurists. I'll be one helping with that process, incidentally. Helping how? Well, for one, I'll be chair of the Juris Simulated... What the fuck? Juris System Simulated Court Committee. The JSSCC. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurist candidates, even the judge in the courtroom. And the courtroom. Wow, it's like you have a real job. I was never that good at the piano, to be honest. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer, I guess. The trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. The trial simulation, that is. Okay, so like a tutorial for the last case? A simulation, huh? Sounds interesting. So what kind of case is the trial simulation about? Well, since it's the first run-through of a new system, I wanted something simple. Good thinking. No sense wearing yourself on something too serious. True, the case is a murder. That's not simple at all. By simple, did you mean like the defendant is guilty? Yes, most likely. So good luck. Apollo. Wait, me? What? With what? With the trial tomorrow, you're defending, of course. Recall that I said it had to do something with you. Go for it, Apollo. It's just a test case anyways, no sweat. Yeah, it's gonna be very real. Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. And a potentially serious sentence. The most serious and worst case scenario. You mean the verdict's for real? That's not a test trial, that's a real trial. All the forms have been filed, there's no turning back now. The trial begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hope you can make room in your schedule. Man, fuck you, Phoenix. Why am I only hearing about this now? Yes, there was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Eh? Something that happened last night. Wait, what do you mean something that happened last night? Alright, so, what's the case you're going to use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do. I mean, I'm going to be defending, aren't I? If all goes well, then yes, of course, this is just a test. We wanted everyone to start without preconceptions, a blank slate as it were. There's a difference between having a blank slate and just being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Well, mine. Committee chair, remember? Ah. Well, if you want to know that badly, I suppose, I could give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Oh, thank you. Good. I do need that. Good, that's better. But you can't talk to anyone involved with the case. Really? What do you mean? Then how am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. Remember, I'm in charge of the trial, all of it. But you don't want it to backfire, do you? Apollo. If I'm in charge of the whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility, for good or for bad. Maybe you want it to fail? Just do what you can. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Alright. I'd recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You can ask about the scene there. But you just said, yeah, I couldn't talk to anyone involved. Oh, you can talk to your client. If you can get her to talk. Wait, what do you mean if I can get her to talk? What the hell am I dealing with? Well, time's a-wasting. Bro. Hey, Apollo, I know you're all excited about that secret mission. But what about this? The Troupe Gramier Grand Magic Show, eh? Oh, right, the card tricks. They're not card tricks, they're grand illusions, miracles, the apocalypse, heaven and earth will So what? There's 3 whole days, that's 3 whole days from now. It's Sunshine Coliseum, let's go today. We can say hi to Uncle Valent. Have fun. What? I can't go by myself, you know I'm not very outgoing. Right. Why not go with her? But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. You'll hear all about it tomorrow, regardless. I don't trust that smile. He knows something that he's not telling me. Yippee! Now you can take me to the Coliseum. Why is she saying it like it's a date? I suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there. Ah, Grammar. That reminds me. What's this, Daddy? Isn't that still kept the Grammar seal? Consider it a birthday present, Trucy. Thanks, it's great. But today isn't my birthday. Good point. What day is it today, Apollo? Today? It's like, what, October 7th? I think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day. Then it's Recycle Your Plastics... Then it's Recycle Your Plastics... What? Yippee! So it's plastic. I think I'm trying to understand them. It's much easier that way. So, what is it? Can I open it? No. Huh? You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Don't open it until then. Well, why didn't you just hold on to it until then? Because that would be the logical thing to do. And this guy's illogical. Envelope. An envelope about the Grammars, huh? Okay. Let's show my clients, I guess. That's 20 minutes we've been waiting here. 20 whole fucking minutes. Maybe I should complain. I'm sure that guard has better things to do than just stand there pretending he doesn't see us. You know the minute we get angry, the client show. It always works that way, true. Whenever I queue in deadlock, as soon as I complain about the queue times, it pops. Like shouting, "Oh, waiter," and they're standing right behind you. Oh, guard! Is our client going to be much longer? What are you talking about? Haven't you already started the meeting yet? Huh? What? Where'd you come from? Well, anyway, please have a seat. She was there the whole time. I'm nervous, Apollo. It's the silence. It builds suspense. She's doing the Michael Jackson. Why don't you do something, Trucy? You're a magician, aren't you? That's right. Okay. I'm the amazing Mr. Hat. Wait, did she just... She passed out? No reaction? New Void Hunter coming in. Didn't they just release like a new Hunter or something? Like what was Dev telling me? Like a new Hunter with a new element or something? Like literally like 3.0? Miss Magic Underwear might have been a better bet. That's Magic Panties, Apollo. Okay. It looks like we're gonna go nowhere with this one. Hi. Well, I'm your defense. I really think it has to be fate, you know. And by fate, I mean destiny. And did you know I'm good with astrology? What kind... Is this Riz? Tell me, what's your sign? I can tell you mine if you'd like, Apollo. No, not you. I seem destined to get difficult clients, it seems. So, what's your name? Oh, right, I'm supposed to introduce myself first. I'm Apollo Justice. And I'm Trucy Wright. I know this is getting nowhere fast. Hey, I know. Maybe you can tell us what happened. I'm your defense attorney, after all. Anything out of the ordinary happened lately? Well, the other day, this tourist came out of town, stopped to ask me directions. Later, Trucy, not you. Well, that was fruitless. Though I think I understand I think I understand despair a little better now. You did good, Apollo. Dude, I did fucking nothing. Wait. Oh. Look, she's doing her nails. What? Are nails more important than defense? Let's go, Trucy. Got 1 pull 0 pity? What? Excuse me. Did you read this? Sure. I feel like a teenager on a first date. True. And this is the love letter we passed from desk to desk at school. Well, I never got a love letter. Stop looking so wistful and read it, Apollo. It's a business card with a name and address. The name is Vera Misham. The address is for Drew's studio. Alright, so we just go here? And you're giving this card because... Oh, her name's Vera? Oh, I didn't know that. Her name and mailing address? I thought... Okay. Looks like we're finished here. I wonder if Drew Studios is the scene of the crime. Let's go find out. To Drew Studios we go! Ooh, she's an autiste. Oh shit, it is. Wow, this looks like... It looks like a studio. It's like life imitating art, or maybe it's the other way around. But the tape on the ground there, it's a bit jarring. Yeah, looks like we found our crime scene. Apollo, look at all those paintings. Hey, don't touch those. It's okay, I'm just looking. What the hell is this? This is worse than Picasso. Now that's a masterpiece. That one's, like 3 different styles. Apollo, look at this one. This is like Cloud looking at a river, and then that's the fucking moon. A Sephiroth coming. Looks half finished. You can still see the rough sketch underneath. Oh, I see. But that's odd. The rough part doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all. It could. I believe it. Yeah, good point. That is odd. All the paintings have really different style too, yeah. Ah, I thought I might find you two here. Oh my gosh, it's Emma. Emma, long time no see. Oh? Seems like I run into you far too often. I'll bet I know why you're here too. You know about the trial simulation tomorrow? I've heard about it, sure. So Mr. Wright chose you, huh? We don't even know what the case is about. Well, he was killed. The artist who owns the studio, that is. Mr. Drew Misham. What kind of eyes are those? Misham. Wait, so that's my client's father. And his daughter was put under arrest. Yeah, we just saw her at the detention center. It was funny though. She seemed like more like a victim than the kind of person who would commit murder. You don't say. Not even by poisoning. That's how it was done, you know. Poisoning is a common way to get the job done when the murderer is a woman. Huh, poisoning. Anyway, Mr. Wright told me you'd be coming. Feel free to take a look around. I'll just be over here. With my snackies. We can't talk to anyone related to the case this time around. Which means we'd better find out as much as we can here at the scene. Or else... Is she related to the case? Not really, right? What the fuck is this? I thought this was an art studio, not a fucking biology class. There's a painting behind this thing too. Alright, I guess we'll just ask so then we know what we're looking at. We're looking for, I guess. So this Drew Misham was some kind of artist? Apparently, did a lot of illustrations for books, I hear. Okay. Had a lot of female fans too, for what it's worth. Oh? Well, I guess this stuff is kind of pretty. Like that oil painting over there, for instance. Yeah. That wasn't one of his illustrations, actually. Huh? So it was a standalone painting or something? Is that what she means? He was an odd bird, Misham. Hadn't showed his face to anyone until the end. What do you mean to anyone? He was always locked up here in the studio, apparently. His only connection to the outside world was through letters he'd put in that letterbox there. Letters? Do people still write letters? What do you mean, Apollo? I mean, when was the last time you wrote a real letter? Don't most people use email and stuff these days? Now, Mr. Misham couldn't stand technology, it seems, so... he did everything by mail. Maybe he thought that way was more artistic, you know. In any case, the only person besides him allowed in here was his daughter, Vera. Oh, you mean the killer? The suspect, please. We took some fingerprints, of course. The only ones found in the room were Misham's and Vera's, basically. Actually, last night, Mr. Misham gave an interview to a reporter for the first time. It happened during the interview, apparently. His first interview ever. Could you tell us more about what happened that night of the murder? Like I said, last night was the first time someone from the outside came into the studio. I guess mysterious painters who never go outside make for good articles. And it just so happened that he died the night of his first interview. At around 9 p.m. every night, Vera always made him a cup of coffee. Wait, 9 p.m. for coffee? Last night, he drank his usual coffee and slowly became violently ill, and died. She poisoned him on the night of his interview. Wouldn't the reporter see? He wasn't near Mr. Misham when she brought her father his coffee. He was checking out some equipment in the back of the room. Supposedly, that's why she didn't notice he was there. It was the reporter who called the police, in fact. Wait, but why is she the suspect? If anyone is suspicious, it's the reporter. Yet the reporter never got near Mr. Misham's coffee. Even Vera acknowledges that. Regardless, I want to know more about this reporter. So this woman, Vera, she's Mr. Misham's daughter, right? Yep, a real sickly girl ever since she was little. Hardly ever went outside. She did kind of give off a withdrawn sort of aura. She was homeschooled by her father, apparently. It was quite a scene when they took her to the detention center. she was screaming about how she'd die if they took her outside. That does sound like a scene. In the end, she agreed to leave if she was allowed her good luck charm for company. It was like that weird-ass, like, nail thing. Apparently, she has this charm that magically gives her the courage to go outside. Why can't I ever get a normal client? But why would a shut-in daughter kill her own dad? Don't look at me. So, about the poison, it was found to be in his coffee, right? No, not precisely. Not precisely? What does that mean? It means see for yourself, I think. Alright, so... let's look at the coffee. Oh, that's the victim's coffee mug. So the poison was in here. This is my first time seeing a real poisoned mug of coffee. I would hope so. Poisoned coffee. Not exactly, actually. What do you mean? No traces of poison were found in the coffee, but on the mug? You'll have to figure out the rest yourself. I'm officially not on your side after all. This is a weird case. Holy fuck. I got a lot of shit. So this is Misham? You sure about that? It says fucking mush. Hey, look there. That stain doesn't look so healthy, Apollo. That must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about. Something tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue. No, this stain is probably, better ask Emma. I bet Emma could help us out here. Don't forget, flattery will get you everywhere with her, Apollo. What are you two whispering about? Well, I was thinking. I mean, what is we always do when we run into a crime scene? What is it we always do, scientifically? Ah, you know me too well. Okay, meaning we can get, scientific now? Oh, I suppose. Just this once. Bring me anything you find suspicious, we'll check it out. Just gotta scientifically riz her. Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue, residue on the rim. Eh? That? Well, it's just a rumor. But I've heard there's a kind of coffee called Blue Mountain. I'm pretty sure it isn't actually blue, Emma. Right. Okay, you got me. That's left over from my testing spray. Forensic science. I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma. It's not a hobby. So, what kind of scientific stuff were you up to? This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. Oh... Wait. So is the mug poisoned, or is, like, his lips poisoned? So the poison that killed the victim was on this mug? That's right, see? It wasn't in the coffee. The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself. Wow, science is amazing. So is it all over the rim? It certainly is helpful. Maybe Emma would be willing to help us out a bit more. You should try buttering her up, Apollo. They say flattery will get you everywhere. It's certainly worth talking to her a bit more. About the poison analysis. I was afraid you were going to ask about that. See, this solution is used to test for, what? Atroquinine, the deadly poison found in the autopsy. Uh-oh, I know that spark in her eyes. She's getting excited. Best tread lightly. It's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slow. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. Oh, and guess what? Recent research has shown that's fine, really. Don't need to know all that gory details. I think I get it. You should spray this stuff on something and you want to test, right? Precisely. You can even find the slightest trace of poison with this. I want to try, Emma. Pretty please? You don't have to ask twice. I already used it on everything suspicious, of course. Yay! Give it a whirl, Apollo. What are you doing? I was just seeing if I got a reaction off of you. How's this a reaction? Never do that again. I'm not poisonous. Tell that to the hapless witness on the stand. Let's just get down for checking for real poisons. Oh, so I just spray this shit? Man, I gotta use my spacebar? Letterbox? No? Well, it's probably on the mug. Oh, okay. Not like that. It's probably on... Oh. There's no fucking kitchen, is there? Thing is, I haven't really explored this room, so I don't even know what's, like, suspicious around here. What do you even put on your mouth? It's on the paintings? If it's on the paintings, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Bro, where the fuck is this shit? Too bad, no reaction there. I'm sure Emma checked out all the likely spots. Wait a sec. What is it, Apollo? Did you spray that little desk over there? I don't think so. The spray probably can't reach that far, you know. Let's check it out, just to be sure. Oh. Oh. Eee! A reaction, Apollo! Where? The inside of that cute little frame. Look. Well, would you look at that? Nice going, Trucy. I'm known to work magic. Never mind that. I was the one who found it. A frame measuring 2 inches by 2 inches bears traces of deadly poison. So, wait, is it just a frame? Why would the inside of that frame have poison on it? Looks like we have found the only other place that was poisoned in any case. We're off too much evidence. Fuck, dude. Can I pull this shit out? Looks like you have to take this back part off to put a photo inside. It'd have to be a really small photo to fit in there. True, and that pale bluish stain. Why would there be poison on something like this? It's inside, huh? This one obvious. Whoever put the poison in the coffee rubbed a bit on here too. That's not very obvious, Trucy. So the... Wait, so is the poison inside? Yeah, okay, yeah. Inside the frame. Not on it, but inside. Okay. Well, we still gotta check everything out in this room. Wait, that's just like the other photo. It's so normal. Are we dealing with like a Madarame thing? That's hardly something to get mad about. What's this, Apollo? Well, doesn't this painting look like the third? It does. Does it have a different art style? Signatures up. Or is there a D? A big D. Wait, why would it have her name? Why write your name on the back and the front of the card? Why not use the space at the back for a self-portrait or a caricature? Then people will remember what you look like too. That's not a bad idea, actually. Here, give me one of your cards, Apollo. She's drawing something. Hey, my hair's not that spiky. Wait, so... Maybe she's trying to be an artist. This one's the best photo for sure. This one might be hers though. Like learning. I can't really turn it, can I? Alright. Think they draw over there? No. So the body was found. That's the spot where Mr. Drew Misham passed away. He put the coffee mug to his lips, and the next moment, there's quite a bit of paint on the ground. See that half-painted painting there? He must have been working on that right there up until the moment he died. I thought the poison takes 15 minutes to kill. Maybe he started a year ago and was procrastinating. I don't know about that, Chief. I imagine this coffee cup was for guest use. Yes? Did the police already analyze this cup too? Not a trace of poison was found on that cup. So the killer was after Drew... The killer was after Drew Misham alone. And whatever the fuck's going on in this room. Holy shit. Let's take a closer look at this desk here. We got a mannequin. Something about the way that figure's posed. I've seen that pose before. It's you, Apollo. See, you're making one of those flamboyant gestures. Please, I am a professional. I wonder why it's posed like that. Coincidence? It's either pointing at something, or obviously they're used, for painters, but who knows. So this is Drew Misham. And this little girl must be Vera. Yes, they look like that some years ago. They look close. A happy little family. Until you arrested his daughter. Look, I was personally against that, okay? She didn't seem very suspicious, scientifically speaking. Right. Is this a journal? Wow, talk about a clue. Let's read it. What is it? He didn't write the name of the killer, did he? It's new. He didn't write a single line. So it's empty. Convenient. Wonder why there's poison on this tiny frame. Strange indeed. Wait, I know. I'll bet it was poison from the time he brought it. Or he bought it. Haven't you heard about some kinds of green paint being toxic? I don't think they sell that kind anymore. And the poison was actroquinine anyway. A tiny mysterious poison frame. Well, there's no picture in it. Hey Apollo, what's this feather thingy? It's not a pen, like a old-fashioned quill pen. Doesn't it have a pointy end? That was more likely for sweeping detritus off the desk. Oh, you sure know a lot, Emma. Bold and scientific, that's my motto. Exactly what about that was bold or scientific? This envelope has been opened and resealed. Ooh, I know how to do that. You take a pot of boiling water and hold the envelope up to steam. The glue melts and it opens. Cool, huh? Whoever did this wasn't so delicate. You're right. Looks like they just ripped it off and stuck it back together. The postmark on this letter is from 7 years ago. Why would someone open a letter, then seal it again? I better hang on to this. Well, can I open it? Like, if it's already been opened, then, like, you know. Excuse-me, in I go. Oh, look, it's been opened once here. You're right. I wonder if there's some way we can see what's inside. Yeah, just open it. Should I try to get it open and then stick it back shut? Let's not tamper with the evidence, shall we? I've got a better idea. Emma, let's ask her. Okay. Sure. Oh, I have to present it. Emma, about this. Oh, that? Yes. Why, that's a bright red envelope. She sure is jumpy. Someone opened this, didn't they? My lips? She opened it. Your lips are sealed. That's a first. You mean, you know what's inside the envelope? Sure, I read it, after all. You mean you are the one who ripped this open? Ah, please, I would have steamed it open. But she did sneak a peek at it, apparently. Know that I have a powerful weapon on my side. Weapon? Yes, the use of tools. Highly specialized tools for information gathering. Tools I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. You should try flattering her, Apollo. They say a little praise can open big doors. Never heard that one, but it is good advice. Let's try talking to her some more. About that envelope we found. I was wondering if you could help us with that tool you were mentioning. You want to know about my tool, do you? It's called an X-ray analyzer. X-ray, like the X-ray you get at the dentist? That's right. At least, that's what I call it. Huh? It has a real name, but it's much more complicated. The X-ray spectralization... something. How am I supposed to remember all that? So, basically it lets you see inside things like envelopes? That's right. You're sharp, Trucy. But it's a bit more complicated than that in practice, of course. Actually, to tell the truth, I'm not really sure how it works. Scientifically, of course. Can I try it out, Emma? Please? Oh, I suppose. Of course, I've already checked out everything suspicious myself. Alright, let's give it a spin, Apollo. What are you doing? Oh, just seeing if I could see through your hair. But it's like lead. Point that thing at me anymore and it might fall out. Then I would need an X-ray machine to see through it. Let's just get down to business. Right, let's test it on a sample first. I don't think you're supposed to X-ray people without, like, pretty sure you just kill them. It just so happens that I have a lottery ticket here. The fuck am I looking at? You set the sample in the device like so. I don't see anything. Patience, there's no need to get all antsy. Look at the right side of the screen. That's the layer view of the envelope. Layer view? You've got to set it to display. You have got it set to display the outside of the envelope now. See? Actually, it's quicker to just have you try it out. Turn that dial. Can I just use my mouse? That's right. That's how you choose what depth you want to scan. I see, so it's not really reading, like, the text? It's just, what do you call it? It's reading, like, the markings. But not, like, the ink. Try rubbing the image a little, if you would. Rubbing. Like, going over the image with WASD? Wait, what? Double 016, try again. That's pretty clear to me. Okay, let's print this one out. Lottery. Yeah. Does this mean I have to buy another one to win? Well, it's Emma's ticket. Let her buy another one. It's okay, there's no need. But see, this is the true hidden power of my weapon. Neat, huh? Now let's try it out on the real thing, shall we? Alright. Tutorial done. We rub it out. We rub it out. We rub it out. I've deposited 100K? In this designated account, please send a receipt once you've confirmed the transfer. $100K's a lot. Someone deposited 100K into Mr. Misham's account. His paintings must be really valuable. There's another page in there. Care to take a look? You bet I do. If you're going to read someone's mail, you might as well read it all. Here it goes with the second page then. Oh, we just do it again. Cool. I feel like a detective. Oh my god. We rub it out. Rub one out again. Sign the papers and send them in the closed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not to remind you to not speak of this to no one. So, but did he do this? This was like 7 years ago. So it was a letter about payment for one of his paintings. Why all the secrecy, though? And what? Why was this letter the only one here? It's 7 years old, right? Maybe it had some special significance to him. Well, Emma? Well, indeed. She knows something she's not telling us. Looks like she's keeping mum about it. So, Emma, I was wondering, what's the story about this reporter that came here for the story the night of the crime? I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be a witness tomorrow, I hear. Oh, I thought so. I'll never forget that face. Oh, what was his name? Oh, right. Bruchel. He's after a scoop to sell to the papers. So, a reporter comes for an interview with a painter. His first interview ever, and that night he's killed. Seems strange to you. Really strange. It does raise a few questions. I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could. Well, I hear he's on the beat today, too. He said something about covering a magician. Magician? Well, if it's not Trucy, then that leaves one other person. Valant Gramaret. It wasn't Valant Gramaret by any chance, was it? Yeah, something like that. He's got some big show lined up, I hear. So he's out interviewing Valant Gramaret. Should we be worried? Looks like I'll be heading out that way. Out to the Coliseum again sooner than I thought. Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want. God damn, dude, I'm getting so many things. I don't know, I don't even have an autopsy and I'm already like almost done with my second page. Freelance journalist. Top dollar for... What the hell is this guy? I already looked at that, I guess. Alright. Well, that's everything here. All this looks very suspicious, though. I cannot lie. Let me skim through this. True. A lathe to a laser cutter. Looks like he was ready to work on metals and wood, too. This equipment's a bit old, to tell the truth. Why would a painter need all this? From the dust, I'd say he hasn't used this stuff for years. This corner doesn't fit with the rest of the studio. Oh, do you think I could borrow this? I want to cut a quarter in half to make a trick coin. This is a crime scene, Trucy, but these cost like 50 bucks at a magic shop. It has a microscope. I mean, I believe that. Is this for painting, Apollo? That would be a drafting table. Drafting. Basically, it's a tool for making precise diagrams. Do you need to make precise diagrams for painting, though? Why would a painter need a drafting table? Was he an architect too? Very suspicious. Are these all oils? Look at all these paints, Apollo. There's so many. He's got like 20 kinds of red. You can repaint your suit, Apollo. How about the shade of green? That'll be enough. Thanks. Very, very suspicious. They don't really look similar, too. Woohoo! This is it, Apollo. The place where magic and dreams converge. Just a while ago, it was the place where murder and nightmares converged. Let's go say hi to Uncle Valent. What about the case? Only a performer laughs like that. The young Miss Trucy. How often I hoped we'd meet again, only to tell myself it was an impossible dream. Teehee, Uncle Valent. How's it going? I'm glad to see you too. Of course you are. Humility is definitely not one of his stronger traits. Well, Miss Trucy, how does the day find you? If you've come to give me flowers, do it after the show, I beg you. Actually, we came to wish you good luck. And congrats on your big magic show. Oh, but it is I who wish to congratulate you! Not everyone is as lucky as you to witness miracles such as the one I shall perform. Yeah, you're amazing, we get the picture. The world will watch in wonderment as Magnifi's illusions are reborn, here on stage by my hand. Everyone's talking about the big magic show. Is it true that the Grand Marais miracle is back after 7 years of absence? Miss Trucy, I must apologize. 7 years again. This show and this honor should have been his. Daddy. My co-magician in training, Zach Gramray. If that terrible thing hadn't... It's okay. Your father was a great magician, Trucy. If he were alive, then I, Valence Gramray, would have been proud to stand upon the stage as his assistant. Thanks, Uncle Valent. You know, I'm happy you're doing the show. To think we get to see the great Magnifi's illusions again. She really is looking forward to this, isn't she? My mentor, the magnificent Magnifi Gramray, was a true deity among magicians, a creator god who gave birth to magic and illusions that defied our very imaginations. I was so little when I last saw one, but I still remember shows. He did wheelies in a sports car through the air above the audience, and then sped off to outer space faster than the speed of sound. I'm guessing that memory was a little bit embellished. For 7 long years, the world has been waiting for a miracle to match his. As heir to the Grand Marais troop secrets, it falls to me to provide one. It is my God-given destiny. Yes, you, nameless face who speaks for the nameless masses. How can I help you? If the world was waiting, why did you hold off for 7 long years? It appears the lad is uninformed. Perhaps you have heard of the magic known as law, which governs our land. I have, though I'm not sure if it qualifies as magic. The performance of Magnifi's miracle was impossible. A certain law prevented it for 7 years, but no more. 7 years. That phrase sure seems to like pop up a lot, doesn't it? Man, I guess 7 years ago was a convergence of a lot of things. And why was that? A little matter called performance rights. Okay. Can you tell us about these performance rights? Magnifi's magic relied on incredibly innovative idea, a trick, if you will. That trick was considered his property and such was protected by property law. Intellectual IP, maybe? Magnifi knew this and bequeathed it in his will. To one person. You mean, him? Yes. Miss Trucy, it was your father. Zach Gramray was the inheritor of the Gramray miracle. Daddy. Yet, as you well know, he is gone. He disappeared suddenly 7 years ago. I think I see where this story is going. And then I'm assuming Phoenix Wright failed to defend I guess... I think Phoenix Wright is probably involved in that case. And then failed. Once a person is classified missing for a certain period of time, they're considered legally deceased, correct? In all absoluteness, those rolled-up sleeves conceal your competence well, young man. That certain period of time in which you speak is 7 years. Yes, Miss Trucy. Though it pains me to say it, this past spring, April to be precise, was the time your father was legally declared deceased. In absence of a formal will, the secrets of our mighty mentor Magnifi passed to me. This was, in fact, stipulated in the will by Magnifi himself. Is that how it works, Apollo? Yeah, it's called death in absentia. He's declared missing. Permanently. Daddy. Well... you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So you're supposed to get an interview or something, right? So a journalist was here on a story. All eyes in the universe are upon my stage. All pens seek to commit its mysteries to paper. His name was Bruchel. Bruchel. I think he remembers him. He doesn't look too happy about it. Bruchel. That cloying smell of mint when he smiles. Yes! Could you tell us more about him? What did he want? A man by that name called on me just now. Just now? Balanced vision is always towards tomorrow. Balanced feet step always forward. That is all. That's all? Very confusing. I am to perform a big magic show, yes? I wanted someone to cover it. Yet he had ears only for that incident. That incident, 7 years ago. In any case, I recorded that rapacious reporter remove himself. So a painter has died. What of it? It is but a footnote in the footlights compared to the magic of Gramarye. Uncle Valen, do you know where the reporter went? I recommended he visit that popular... I recommended he visit that place popular with penalized perpetrators. Oh, the detention center. He was a rude individual. Might I see that card? Is he gonna rip it? Sure. He would tear apart my respectability. I will tear apart his. Oh, here he comes, Paulo. Uncle Valen's big magic trick. Is he going to fix the card? Not sure that qualifies as big magic. What happened to the big magic? It is not more miraculous for it to stay ripped. He must really not like that journalist. Alright. Oh, wrong place. I mean, I guess that still works out. October 7th in Detention Center Visitors Room. Oh, you're here to see Vera Mishram? Yeah, that's right. She's in the medical office at the moment. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Is she okay? She's just lying down. Says she didn't feel so good. I'm sorry, but I can't allow meetings at the moment. Most annoying client ever. Guess we should come back. Okay, so we have other things to talk about to, grab our Ray then. Oops. I meant to go back to the Coliseum. He didn't really give me anything new, did he? was wondering if you could tell me about this thing. Aha! Why, that bears the Grammary seal. Uncle Valen, is something wrong? Trucy, where did you get... Whoa. Huh? Daddy gave it to me. Your daddy... My part... No, my other one. Phoenix Wright. Why now? Why would your Lord Daddy... Lord Daddy? That's kind of stretching a whole archaic thing, don't you think? The signature upon the back. Do you recognize it? Yeah, it's the Grammary logo, no? That belongs to none other than Zach Grammary. What? Daddy signed this? Might I be as bold as to open it? I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. What's in this envelope, I wonder? Now, the time has come when I must return to make my prestidigitation. Preparations. By your leave, Miss Trucy. God damn. Thanks, Uncle Valen. 3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. What do you think that journalist was after? And why did Valen react like that to the envelope? I think it's time to pay the detention center of another visit. Can I get this shit x-rayed? Emma! Emma, can I get this x-rayed, please? I'm a detective. You can't just ask me any old... What? Come on. Scientific? I am being scientific. Just x-ray this shit. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna go grab a piece of candy real quick. Alright. I think I hear what you're saying. We're all doing it for the money. Quote. No, not at all. Looks like someone's already meeting here. Maybe that reporter? What the hell? What? Ooh. I don't think. Do I do a high voice? Do I do a peanut voice? Do I do a deep voice? Hi there, how you doing? Wait, how you doing? Who might you be? Sorry, we didn't know someone was already here. I'm a Paul Justice Attorney at Law. Talk about a nervous monkey. You're Justice? You know me? Do I know you? Oh, of course I know you. Stares down witnesses on stand till they spill beans. End quote. That's not true. What's he writing? Are you a reporter by any chance? Who, you? You're Trucy? Am I famous? Oh yeah, Trucy Wright hates carrying a bag. Puts everything she owns in her panties, end quote. That's not true. Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy. Interview? So, guard, I think I know what's going on here. Guarding rooms is my life. What else could I possibly need? End quote. No, how many times do I have to tell you this? Look, I've got work to do. You deal with them. So, clickbait guy. Did you come here to do the interview, guard? Ooh wee, what a pickle. Accused wouldn't talk, had to interview someone, or go plumb crazy, end quote. Wait, plum? I should have guessed. Where's my manners? Name's Brushel, Spark Brushel. I'm not picky. Journalist just closes eyes, writes, end quote. What's that nauseously strong mint smell every time he grins? Those are some fake-ass teeth. Until you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what thrilling is. Wild romp through crossroads of mayhem, madness, end quote. I can see that. He's writing something again. Well, if he's a reporter, maybe he knows something. He's got that quill pen as well. And a toothbrush. So, Mr. Brushel, you're a journalist? Me? Look, let me state one thing for the record here. Yes? I'm the interviewer. You understand, yeah? I'm the one asking the questions here, end quote. Bro, this is IGN, typical IGN journalist right here. This is modern day journalism. For instance, you think a movie director watches movies? Well, I think he probably does. Exactly. I knew you'd understand. What? Duh. Alright, so the night of the murder, you were at Drew's studio. Who, me? Look, let me say one thing for the record. Yes? I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy, real busy, always on the road. Journalist always buys one-way tickets, never looks back, end quote. I can understand that philosophy, but you want to know the thing about one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. All because you have to give them to the guy at the airport. Why does he get a toothbrush for his hair? True enough, but don't they give normal tickets away? Exactly, see? It's the same thing. What is? So you went to do a story on Drew Misha, and he'd never had a story done about him before? That's right. Look, let me say one thing for the record here. What? I'm sure you're going to want to know about my source. What tipped me off to Drew? Why do the interview in the first place? Well, yes. Look, it's like... Oh, I've got it. Say there's this burger joint with a fabulous ketchup. You think the burger guy's going to tell me where he got it? At the supermarket, maybe? Exactly, see? That's what I'm talking about. I think I may have actually understood that one. Well, there's nothing I can talk about, really. Walls have ears, eyes, especially glass walls with speakers, end quote. So he's afraid of being spied on? Right, guess we'll leave then. But since you're here, might as well tell you a tidbit of news I saw, just for the heck of it. Sure, tell us. Just for the heck of it. I remember like it was yesterday. I'd seen a movie on a trip and wandered into this burger place with amazing ketchup. When an article in the tabloid caught my eye. Famous oil painting stolen from art dealer's gallery. End quote. I believe it was. Stolen. Okay. An oil painting. Is there a chance? We might be dealing with the Madarame. Happens every day, right? But I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. A painting of a giant peach floating down a river. Someone stole an oil painting of a giant peach. Interesting. And I have two versions of that. Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers. End quote. Interesting. Because I have a half-done one with like fucking the moon, Majora's Mask or whatever the fuck. What's the moon called in Majora's Mask? I feel like I've been referencing it so many times, but I've never played the game. Majora's Mask moon name. It's simply called the moon. Okay, so I just call it Majora's Mask. So, I've been referencing it correctly, apparently. Would this happen to be that painting? What about the red envelope? What about the ticket? Very elusive guy. So I didn't really get anything new out of him. Well, how'd it go? Find anything out? Actually, there was one thing I wanted to check with you. What's with that scary face you're making? And what's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you've got, Emma? Can I show you this envelope yet? Well, something's different. But I don't know what I'm allowed to do. I didn't get anything new. It was stolen. I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out. Oh. We might have ourselves a Madarame. Do you think you could tell us about this bit? I suppose. It's what you think. Drew Misham was a forger. A forger? So what exactly is a forger? Well, basically it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes. Copies of an original. Exact copies, so precise you can't tell them apart. Well, why not just photocopy them? The big problem with forgeries is that people try to sell them as the real article. It's a crime, of course. So, Drew Misham was a criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries, to supplement his work in illustration, I guess. I see. Actually, that's why I brought this here in the first place. The X-ray thing? What do you mean? When you're trying to determine if a painting is a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. So the rough sketch is like practice for the real thing. Like doing a magic trick in front of a mirror before you get on stage. But not in the case of forgery, not necessarily. Yeah, for forgeries you don't do a rough sketch. You know what the finished product is going to look like after all. Oh yeah, I guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's underneath the paint of finished pieces. I get it now. Not that I really needed to go such lengths, seeing as how one of the paintings was only half finished anyways. Still, it'd be neat to see Mr. Misham's rough sketches. Kind of what he was drawing when he thought no one was looking. True, that would be interesting. Try buttering her up, Apollo. Alright. Let's scan the other paintings. I guess we should compare these two, so we can see the tells. Wait, but this one's half finished. I want to see what the rough sketch under this painting. And I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick. Oh, fine, fine. Just this time, though. Let's check it out. Oh. Let's just do this one. Fixing my mouse. Okay. Well, I guess it's supposed to look like Picasso shit, right? I'd assume. Not really sure if I'm gonna see any words. It'd be weird if I see words. Hey, what the fuck is this? Whoa! Huh? It's a photograph. Poker? 432AA? What the heck? Wow, he really blows. The finished painting isn't anything like the rough. A device like mine didn't exist until recently. He probably thought he could draw any sort of thing he wanted for the rough. What do you mean? Well, in the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? This is kind of going over my head. In other words, the traces of the charcoal between paint and canvas. So you could tell if there had been a rough sketch, but not what it looked like. I don't follow. Hold on. In the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. In other words... Really just tell of the existence of a rough sketch? So in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath the finished painting. Some pros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely, then do a completely new painting on top of that. So Mr. Mission was drawing whatever he wanted before painting over them? Possibly. Is there a problem with that? Not particularly, but something about the sketch itself is odd. I mean, it has nothing to do with this. You're awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo. You think we could check out one of the other paintings? Well, sure. You like this the detection stuff, don't you? Yeah, I mean, like, how do you go from, like, basically a photograph into that? That makes no sense. Alright, let's check out this cool one. Is it gonna be another photograph? Watch it be a picture of, his daughter. Like, he's just been using stuff in his, like, photo album. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's a shrine? Wait, that's the noodle cart. Wait, what the hell? Oh wait, no, this guy might be just using the newspaper. Okay, let's print this one out. That's how the guy died. Wait, what are these angles, though? These are some batshit crazy angles. These are all the time... These are all from the angles of someone, like, dying or killing. This one, too. This is creepy. What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden. You think I could look at the last one of these? Fine by me, knock yourself out. So this one should be of the Interpol police. This should be Mr. Asmongold himself dying, theoretically. I forgot his name. Olatus. Pretty much all of these photos are the victims. This is up on stage. That's Gavin playing his guitar. What the heck is all of this? Bro, these are all the cases I've dealt with. It has to be a newspaper. I hesitate to why you're getting so excited. You sure your device isn't leaking some kind of strange radiation? Tracy, look at all 3 of these sketches. Do you notice anything? This is kind of creepy. They're... Now you're both white as sheets. What's going on? These sketches are of the 3 cases I worked on. What? The murder in the poker room at Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then... the events that transpired during the Gavineers concert. What could it mean? How could he have drawn those things? And why? That's what I want to know. Wait, is Drew Misham your father? Give me a break. Does that even remotely seem possible to you? I'd never even heard of any Drew Misham before. I haven't even seen a picture of him. They were my cases. Oh, but there were my cases drawn in his canvas. Every single one, all 3 of them. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Misham? Wait. Drew Misham. Drew Misham. Misham. This is supposed to be like, draw me sham? As in sham, as in like, sham? What did he have to do with me? I know there's a play on words somewhere, but... I'm not too sure. Oh. I'll do trial day 1, and then I'll stop. Good morning. So you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W. But not right. Right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything, please. Good morning. She speaks. Not bad. Not bad. But I think you'd do better with a smile, you know. You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know. Trucy, let's not... Take it easy for starters. She's gonna have, like, the weirdest smile. Thank you for taking my case. Okay, well, that's a start, I guess. There she goes with the nail polish again. I'm pretty sure that's her good luck charm. That's great, really. So cultured. Want to try? Ooh, really? Girls. The victim Drew Misham was a forger, and a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really. And maybe one that led to his death. And now his daughter's taking the blame. But does she know about any of this? Probably not, right? Gavin's here, bro. Well, we will now begin the trial of Vera Misham. Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy and he's looking around all nervous like, The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever. Today is the test of the jury system, and the first step towards a new order in our courts. Daddy's secret mission. The jurors will function like a jury. It is hoped their conclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will. Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? 3 closed-circuit cameras watch these courtrooms at all times. The jurors have access to everything that transpires. Jurists judge well and judge cool. Now see here, Prosecutor Gavin, I was going to say that. My apologies, Judge. Jurors today, judge today's trial coolly, if you'd be so kind. The jurors are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. And we're about to find out what effects they're going to have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin, the details of the case if you would. The victim is a painter, Jumishim. He was killed in this studio. His coffee was poisoned by whom you ask? By none other than the defendant Vermishim. There wasn't any poison in the coffee. Achtung! Someone's been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee. What's on the mug itself? The mug? Residue was found on the rim, I see. The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death. The judge accepts this evidence. Finally, an autopsy. Ooh, wrong one. That's not the autopsy. Well, this fucking says nothing. Between 9 and 9:30, cause of death, poisoning. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning, a chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is mere 0.002 milligram. A touch of aquinine in the body is a touch of the reaper scythe. Scythe. Wait, how do you scythe or scythe? Scythe. Nah, there's no way that's how you do it. I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who's witnessed a murder in its entirety. That journalist, no doubt. The witness will state his name and occupation. What the fuck? Ah, right. Well, for starters, my name is Spark Brushel. My job is a lone observer of the world. In other words, a freelance journalist, right? If you don't mind, I'd like to start something here for the record. Mr. Brushel. I dislike conclusions, specifically the aspect of jumping to conclusions. Preconceptions make park sandbox of endless desert waste, end quote. But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday. Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today, a man with a dream. I'm offering you a testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. The scoop turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel, end quote. Let's hear your testimony then, shall we? A simple case, huh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. I don't know what that means. Journalist story. I visited the studio around 9 that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier. Atelier. I only know how it's pronounced in French, because that was the first time I've heard it. I don't even know what it means. I guess room. Journalistic history made, end quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next. Star falls, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. Makes sense, I guess. That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him. What are you saying, Judge? Need I remind you, the cameras are rolling today. I felt the need to be a bit dramatic. You didn't do it, did you? Me doing anything like that? Come on, that's a newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. I know, wild accusations rock courtroom, end quote. Rock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. I'm so happy for him. Very well, Mr. Justice. Your cross-examination, please. I visited the studio around 9 p.m. that night to do an interview. Hold it! 9 at night. Isn't that a little late for an interview? I agree. If the great painter Drew Misham says come at 9, believe you may. Believe believe you me, I go... Fuck is he saying? I go at 9. The first, and as it turned out, last interview with such a prolific painter. Right, can you tell us what it was like when you first arrived? The first outsider to enter the outlier journalistic history make, end quote. I don't know what to do with it, actually. I have no idea. You were the first reporter ever in the Drew studio, correct? Posterity will look back at that night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind, but a giant step for that Brushel guy. End quote. If no one on the outside ever had access to that studio, then it would serve to reasons that the deed was done by an insider. By which he means Vera did it. So how does his epoch-making interview go? His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. I keep going forward. I don't know why. Would you mind being a little more specific? Ooh-wee, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in 3rd grade. No, wait, 4th grade. That's not what I meant. I believe I know what Ed Forehead is driving at. This coffee is the victim was served. Does anyone other than the defendant touch it? Right, that's what I was going to say, really. Well, now you got a question to ask. You best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all the new recruits, several times if necessary. Right for a grade schooler. That's my motto. Which isn't say I can only write grade school level stuff, mind you. Who touched the coffee? Dunno. I was in the back, looking at the studio's equipment when she served it. Why would you be looking at the equipment? Did you not find the equipment weird? And then what happens next? Or what happened next? And you know what happened next. Star falls, end quote. By star falls. What's this about a star falling? Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money. Over. Zowie, you don't know? That's like our journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls. Get it? But there's no gravity in space, is there? Kinda. Gravitational pull? I don't think stars could fall, really. Well, they don't fall, they just get sucked in. Does this matter? Ooh, boy, this is good stuff. Good stuff. How about star breaks? Nah, lacks punch. I know. Star dies. Nah, lacks imagination. Of course you could go with true dies. Straight to the point. I like it. I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. I don't think we need to know about the coffee. It's more about the cup, right? So let's ask about the moment of death. So, about when Mr. Mission passed away. Ooh, boy, what a scene that was. He puts his coffee mug down with a crash, right? Yes. And then? Then the cold finger of death touches his spine. Life's flame sputters and failed. So cold was that touch, he could do nothing but tremble uncontrollably. Actually, Life's flame is a little tired. Life's river froze over. Yes, that's a go. I think he's starting his article already. I thought the Atronine poison was supposed to take an effect in 15 minutes, but he's saying it's instantaneous. Like, I'd look it up, but it'll probably spoil, so I'm gonna refrain from that. But I'm pretty sure Emma told me that, the poison takes 15 minutes for it to go into effect. Could you describe that a little more simply? Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Artist seizure is a final performance. End quote. Atronine paralyzes the central nervous system. The body arches back like a bow, the limbs tremble, the throat bones. That's quite enough of that. Some of us want to be able to sleep tonight. Oh yeah, I want details, lots of juicy details. For that, you can listen to our last year's single, Atroquinine, My Love, by the Gaviniers, available at all major musical outlets. The point here is that the victim died of Atronine poisoning. Okay, well, I guess from his description, I guess it is instantaneous. Well, Mr. Justice, how did you find that testimony? Put it in for now. Well, an account of the moments of the victim's death, I'd say is very important. Please add it to the testimony. Very well. The court requests the witness add this testimony, or add this account to his testimony. Those spasms, that was definitely death by poison. You say it was definitely death by poison. How could you be so sure? Hey, look, I'm a journalist. I've seen a lot of things, and I've had more than my share of experiences with so-called poisonings. Man eats fishy fish, goes bye-bye. End quote. Food poisoning doesn't count. Should I get him to talk about something else? Yeah, I'm not sure if spasm's gonna help me. So how was his coffee? You say Mr. Misham had the coffee too. But did you actually see him drink the coffee? Of course. He who sees it wins. But he who wins it... Wait, what? He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. I don't get it. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and what writes about it world yet. I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lip to mug, drinks, end quote. That poison is quite virulent, I hear. My stomach did a so-called somersault, since I'd gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there. Some kind of so-called trick. I don't want to venture a guess, for the record. Does this guy have a pause button? Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable? Stuff it in, I guess. The victim drank his coffee, then immediately fell over. Oh, yes, you can go to press with that one. Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony. Very well. The witness will add this to his testimony. Vital, right. He had one sip of that. The next moment, he was on the floor. I just don't have evidence of the poison itself actually, like, taking time, though. That's the problem. Let me just press this and go back and get the third statement out of it. Can you say that for sure? For sure. Sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Trilogy isn't a big place, kiddo. I'd know if someone else had come in. What if they had been hiding in there from before? Even if someone has been hiding in the studio, they hardly could have poisoned that mug without anyone noticing. You think I, Spark Marshal, would miss something as obvious as that? No way! It sure makes it sound exciting. I guess that's his job. There's only one moment we need to focus on, really. The moment when Drew Misham died. Exactly. There has to be something there. Alright, so then we go back. I believe it was this one. Press this. So he either took a sip or he didn't, and then fell over. Oh yes, in dubbed something. Just like that, wham, bam! So Mr. Misham drank the coffee and fell over immediately. I think Brushel's telling the truth too. Should I get him to talk about something else? His own coffee then. So you drank the coffee that Vera served you too? Of course. When someone serves you coffee, you drink it. That's what my old boss always used to say. Never did get what he meant by it though. But you're still alive, which is to say that you didn't die. Of course not. No point falling before you're a star. End quote. That's not exactly what I was getting at. But what are you getting at then? You know the poison was on the rim and not in the coffee. Oh, yes. There were 2 cups on the tray she brought. And one of the cups had Drew's signature painted on the side. No chance the guest would take that one by mistake, I guess. Well, Mr. Justice, was that testimony important? We're talking about the coffee the witness drank. I'd say that is important. Very well, please add that to your testimony, Mr. Brushel. I drink the coffee too, but I'm not dead yet. You're sure you drank the coffee? Oh yes. Quite. I gulped it down. Felt that sweet scorch in my throat. But you say the victim took one sip and fell over, and you still kept drinking. Of course. Drink your coffee when it's hot. Never when it's not. That's what my old boss always used to say. Never really knew what he meant by that. Should I get him to talk about something else? Fuck, I don't even know. I don't have evidence for any of this. Because if we're talking about, like, the poison itself, I mean, it's the autopsy, the coffee cup, and I guess the tiny frame. But as of right now, the frame's kind of irrelevant. So... Wait, why is the coffee not spilling out? Is this really his name, though? It could be something something W. Like, right. Okay, has he signed anything? How do I know this is his signature? So let's just get the Stars coffee. Wait, if your central nervous system is paralyzed, do you start spazzing? Oh, I guess so. Dude, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Like, I feel like he's telling the truth on all of these. Definitely by poison, yeah. I mean, that's what the autopsy is. And then no one else entered the room, yeah. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know. What the hell? I mean, is it really his name on this mug, though? It could just mean... That looks like a U. It could be like a Mew. But I thought I could get him to say, like, I knew it wasn't my mug. Dude, I have no idea. I am so lost. I don't think I've ever been more lost at the very beginning of a trial like this. It's obviously got to do something with this. There's fucking 3 options, but they all are pretty truthful. So if anything, this most suspicious thing would probably be the coffee. It's just I just gotta do a random bullshit go. Wait, what? What? Okay. Well, I didn't see anything weird about that one. Well, let me get my HP back. Oh, cool, I'm right on it. Objection! You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used. Atroquinine. Oh? Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would have been reduced to a quivering pile. Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information. Like what, the time of death? An omission. Atroquinine is a virulent, as he says, but death doesn't come upon ingestion, not... Really? This is what I've been saying, but I didn't have it as evidence, so I didn't think it was... That's because atroquinine is a slow acting. It takes 15 minutes. I knew about this. I didn't have evidence, so I thought it was... I'm going to bash my head against a wall. I'm going to make sure I have brain damage. So... Slow acting. What? According to one forensic scientist, a hot one at that, it's one of the most virulent poisons, but it absorbs into the body astonishingly slow. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. If we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would still have time left to enjoy his last cup of joe. What the fuck is that posture? Order, order. What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why, that contradicts the entire testimony we just heard. Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on that record? Slow acting. Slow act. It was virulent, alright. Even then, it had already begun digging in its claws into the journalist. He's working on his scoop. Objection! It's Brushel, ja? Brushel. Let's take a trip back down memory lane. Does the victim really dies the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital. You know what I think? I think that was a not-so-subliminal suggestion. End quote. I admit it does cause a problem if he dies when you say he died. I would be forced to say, Aufwatschen to my simple case. And you would be forced to say farewell to your article. Come again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? As the case drags on, and other reporters will pick up the scent, and you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. Scoop? Scoop? Ugh. What the? Ugh. Look, wait. Just wait. Wait a second. Just 1 second. We're waiting. We're waiting. Out with it. I think I just recalled a so-called important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story's survival, end quote. Eternally, utterly confused, end quote. Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I'd heard of the poison that takes its sweet time, see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently. Mr. Brushel, what are you saying you noticed that happened? Wait, you know something that explained what happened? Dude, I can't read today, I don't know why. You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say. Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say. I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee. Order, order. As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony that Mr. Mission dies the instant after he drank. Of course I'm standing by my testimony, and my dream of exclusive rights to this story. I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case, not him. Him. Phoenix, right? Who else? Chung, Brushel, report for us if you want. What is it that you noticed? This court is a critical trial of the juris system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Mission was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note? Do I really need to press? A suicide note. Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face inscrutable as a quadrant equation, end quote. Suicide, poor Mr. Mission. But that means Vera's innocent. Would someone commit suicide in the middle of an interview? Oh. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination. Dude, I don't want to press this little fucker. We're going straight to the end and we're presenting that letter. This guy is weird. We'll press just in case. We're gonna present it on this one. A suicide note. Well, yeah, don't quote me or anything. I'm just saying it's a possibility, you know? So you didn't actually check the letter. Of course not. It was sealed. Contents of unknown until can be... Wait. Contents of can unknown until can is open. And Jesus Christ. You can only check the label. Do you think Mr. Mission was writing a suicide note? If he was, that would solve the case in a jiffy. It kind of makes me wonder about this letter. It's this one, right? Yeah. Objection! Wait, what? What? It's not a suicide note. Wait, what? Oh, did I presented on the right one. What the hell? I thought it was obvious. Wait, what? Hold on. Is it not this note?
Objection!
What? I don't understand anymore. What? From the beginning, I guess.
Hold it!
Was there anyone at the studio other than Mr. Misham? Well, his daughter Vera, of course. Was anyone besides Mr. Misham and Vera present? Not a single one. Not a cat, not a rat, not even a mouse. The only person who didn't belong to the studio there was you, wasn't it, Mr. Brushel? I know what you're doing. I know your game. Attorney uses classic Ramsden phenomenon ploy, end quote. If you intend to suggest that Rasputin is the suspect, I'm sure you also intend to present evidence supporting that assertion, correct? In the meantime, let's move along, shall we? Seemed to be writing a letter, but he's quickly reading it. So he put the letter away when he saw you. Early reporter gets worm, end quote. That's my secret. I'm not sure I follow. It's the night of the interview. I arrive 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in. Interesting. Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really? Mr. Misham sure seemed so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as... Yellow? No secret when I spot one, and that was one. It does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice, I wonder. It does have a ring of something important. Oh, so this is a... Okay. Well, that's fucking stupid. And then if I present the letter...
Objection!
Oh my god. Oh my... Let me get my one singular HP back. Oh my god.
Hold it!
I drank my coffee so fast. Got it.
Objection!
As it just so happens, there was a single letter in the desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope. Oh! What the hell? Prosecutor Gavin. Yes. Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime? Unfortunately, no. But if what? It's easy to mistake the color of an envelope. I guess, but not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already. 7 years ago. Well, Mr. Brushel, I can explain that. Drew, right? He wanted to get that envelope. He wanted to get that letter in an envelope pronto. Get it out of my sight, beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away. And what about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction? Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claim? That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope. Wait, what? He grabs the nearest so he's saying he put a red envelope in a yellow envelope? Impossible, right? That's impossible. Ah, I like your expression. So full of confidence. It's simple, really. As it just happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist. What? Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Mission. Oh? Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself. I've been scooped! Order, order, order. Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court? Oh, my, how could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots, end quote. I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brushel. Well, that's the thing, you see. After he puts his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there, searching his desk drawer for something. Wait, I recognize the soundtrack. What case was this from? His desk drawer. Wait, what? Okay. Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp. End quote. A stamp. Whatever for. Well, to mail his letter. What else? And then, why, yes, I think I saw him put it in his letter in the box. Yes, it was a yellow envelope. And he put it in that box. Well, there was nothing in there, I think. Well, apparently this yellow letter has nothing to do... Oh, how I wish it did. Just think of it as it were a suicide note. What a story. Star writes suicide note in front of reporter. False. End quote. As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That said, yes, Your Honor, it makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope. But this was like 7 years ago, though. $100K is quite a good deal of money. So this was from 7 years ago, Sha? So, am I finished here? Am I finished here? I was thinking of, going home to start writing. No. You're not done here. I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that, rather unique face. Come on! Attorney has active imagination, little else. End quote. He knows something. Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about. Judge has active imagination. End quote. Please continue the testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story. Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here. Usually. Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leverages story, gets his interview. End quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. So you threatened to go to press with this story. That's how you got your interview. Blackmail. Well, yes. No. It wasn't exactly black. I'm not... Something wrong, Mr. Brushel? Look, this is my story, my tidbit. Journalist's info is livelihood, end quote. I see. While you have me chatting away in here, what's going on out there? What if some Wally Woodsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? They could be going to press while I'm going to waste. The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace. A certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago? Well, it'd be with the magician, right? That'd be the thing 7 years ago. How would that be related to this? Not so sure. Unless the guy, the magician, wanted something that wasn't a painting to be forged. Like... a will. Oh. Valant Grammeret wanted a will to be forged. But... it didn't happen. Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on an interview. And we don't need this. A reporter leverages story, gets his interview, end quote. Oh wait, we gotta perceive. A story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. So what's the most sussiest thing here? I guess it'd be his nose, right? Alright, not his nose. At least here. Victim Drew Misham had an aversion to reporters. Boy, I guess. Not even my considerable charms did. Until I finally got my thumbs up, that is. Maybe you can elaborate on that a bit for us. Reporter leverages a story, gets a story, end quote. Exactly what sort of story was this? Oh, a little one, like I said. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing in between, end quote. I might have suggested I had a lead on this particular story, but I didn't threaten or cajole or nothing honest. So a suggestion was enough to get an interview. Mr. Mission must have really wanted to keep it under wraps. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. A certain case 7 years ago. Tell us what case. Let me say one thing, Mr. Attorney. You can quote me on this. I can't talk about that case. Why not? It's about journalistic pride, and stoutchness, and credibility, and connections. A journalist reveals sources only over his dead body, end quote. So, what'll be? Gonna strangle me? Dead men don't tell tales, Mr. Attorney. Sounds pretty determined not to talk. Our chances of breaking him aren't looking good. The red envelope probably had something to do with it. On the one hand, we have your story, and on the other, this letter. What makes you think the two are related? Oh, I was just saying it's possible. Call it a reporter's intuition, end quote. Hey, I say a lot of things. You're going to pick on all of them apart. Be my guest. All of them? No, just the incredibly suspicious ones. I see. Anything else to add about Mr. Misham? Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. Just how amazing was Mr. Misham's talent? Huh? Ooh, wee boy, I mean, hey, he's a star, man, a star. The flow of his brush is like a great undulating river across the canvas. Artist paints light up studio like sun, end quote. This guy's full of wacky gestures. That's one wackier than usual. He looks kind of nervous to me. Well, let me perceive this one. Let's look at the nose. Let's look at the nose. It's not the nose. Let's look at everything else. Let's double check that last statement. So that was, I guess, there was like 2 sussy statements. This one's probably the sussiest. I'm not seeing enough movement. A gulp? No. Dude, I have no fucking clue. I was pretty confident his nose would start twitching or something. But it's not. Bro, I'm about to make myself tacos. For some reason, this feather is like really bolded. Like, I'm almost suspicious of the letter. Let me check the nose. I have no fucking clue. I'm gonna perceive... the feather here. If I don't see anything, I'm gonna quickly make myself a taco. I feel like I already did on this one, though. With eyebrows. Because there's nothing else here. You don't even see his other hand. Oh my god. I'm gonna make myself a taco. I'm gonna be here all day, man. Hold on. Yippee! Let's perceive more! Maybe it's the eyebrows? They're not moving. I don't even know. Man, I looked at all this, right? No joke, I'm about to look this up. I feel like I looked at everything. I feel like I looked at everything. I've been here for so long, I've looked at everything. I've looked at everything. I'm only gonna look, if I can, I'm only gonna look at like which testimony section, if I can. I don't know if that's gonna be possible though.
Perceive the last one. Okay. This is one. I gotta find something here. I don't know. I read only what to perceive. I don't know what I'm perceiving. There's something here. Bro, what am I looking for? I give up. I don't know what I'm looking for. His armpit? What the fuck? I'm supposed to be looking for that shit? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Oh, shit.
Gotcha!
That's so stupid. I waste like 30 minutes. Sweat much, Mr. Russell? Yeah, well, a man can't help his glands, you know? It's more than that. When Mr. Misham's talent was mentioned, you slowly began to sweat buckets. You're hiding something about his talent. What? That's ridiculous. Evidence time. Let's show where Mr. Misham's true talent lay. Any of his paintings, right?
Take that!
I have to show the real one. This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. First, it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. Second is that there was another painting in the studio, which looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of 100K, which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries. I hate this guy. That is all, Your Honor. Everyone, please, everyone. Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop. Forgery. That's a serious crime. Drew Misham is known as an artist these days, but there were rumors that he dabbled in some kind of art until a few years back. Another art, meaning forgery? Drew Misham was talented, alright. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. In fact, certain criminal elements were quick to discover. Criminal elements. What? You can't seriously be talking about the black market. It's like I'm talking about the forging evidence. Oh. The rumor started circulating 7 years ago. 7 years ago. So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of 100K was for, exactly, forged evidence nets tidy profit, end quote. So is this what Phoenix Wright used? 100K is a lot. Order. White Soccer victim was living a double life. This is my chance. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
Objection!
This isn't the first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation.
Objection!
But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here.
Objection!
But there's no proof in science's letter to our case. Our case was, and remained simple from the beginning. Only defendant could have poisoned that mugs that night. And you, of course. Hey, the only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing reviews. Mr. Brushell, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen. What are you talking about? My journalism is rock solid. Journalism so solid you can stand on an elephant on it. End quote. In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, the trial is over. Apollo, what is he talking about? The cross-examination showed Mr. Brushell didn't have a reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, the killer had to be Vera, that's what. This next testimony is our last chance. Mr. Brushell, your testimony, please. So we have to prove, like, other people was there, or that he was the one that did it. Essentially. The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She's admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was the mug. But nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was the daughter. A nice testimony. Clear, sufficient, and... or such shit. I don't know. And without room for doubt. Shucks. You really think so? I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may begin your final cross-examination. Alright, I still have one trump card left to play. I won't let the trial end until I use it. I don't even know what the trump card is. Because before I skip all of this, though, I'm gonna present the frame. I think this is a kiss? No way. Like, smothered that thing.
Objection!
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh shit, I just realized. My bad. Oh, the photo frame. Or not the frame, but the photo.
Objection!
Go on. I have to press, probably. Sure about that? Well, to be really precise, I was busy gobbling mint candies the whole time. One of those candies might have been poisoned. Yet, at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room. And no mint residue was found. Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something else other than coffee? I hope he isn't going to cut it now. This mission ingested the poison via a route through other than coffee. My bad. Just wanted to make sure.
Hold it!
Now one thing, you're sure? Yep, sure as can be. Well, with one exception. One exception. What? Journalist Spark Brushel does interview, leave studio. End quote. So he leaves the studio. Come on. It's a joke, get it? Not funny? I know, but still. Did something leave the studio that night? Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before? Now we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn our defense attorneys before. Maybe. I just don't want to be penalized. Maybe. I find Prosecutor Gavin more amusing than this guy. If that was comic relief, why don't I not feel amused? We want evidence, not entertainment. The thing in the letterbox?
Take that!
I think the journalist did say that he put something in there before having a cup of joe. This is the only link between that studio and the outside world. A letterbox. What did Mr. Brushel just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, it was true. Furthermore, he went on to tell us that he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox. Ah, but that very same letterbox was empty. In other words, that night, the yellow envelope disappeared.
Objection!
Ah, yes, intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing. He has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Misham. Is it really important that this envelope, the witness says he saw it disappeared? Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me. Very well then, the witness will add this to his testimony. I still think this fails to change anything here, Forehead. I wouldn't be so sure. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for. I mean, this would be the receipt then, right? Theoretically? I really want to present the frame, but this would be the receipt.
Objection!
No?
Objection!
I actually don't know.
Hold it! Hold it!
You say it clearly as though it were obvious. But this claim that the defendant poisoned the victim is merely conjecture. Yes, well, you see, in my business, it's all about making the most ridiculous things sound right. A bad habit, I know. Yes, well, actually, I guess this is more a case of ridiculous journalist sounds wrong, end quote. We're forced to agree with you. Please refrain from more conjecture. Understood loud and clear. Well, I could believe that. What do you think, Apollo? Everything he's saying seems so not flawed. Well, that's kind of what you would expect from a testimony, really. I need to keep my eye on what matters. How, why, and was Drew Mission killed? I reported the coffee. That's not going to change. But if that coffee didn't kill him, I need to find what did and prove it.
Hold it!
We're already...
Objection!
I mean, it'd have to be the tiny frame. But I think I already presented that. I'll try again. Wait, this is all new. We all know stamps come with a dried glue on the back. I thought it was just gonna autoplay like it did before, and then I would have to present something, but this is all new. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp.
Objection!
So the glue's poisoned? No one worth talking to actually licks stamps in this day and age.
Objection!
Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all. I saw him writing a letter, which was picked up by the mailman, which means the envelope had a stamp on it. As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp.
Objection!
Okay, so he licks the stamp. But wait, how does that explain the atroquinin on the rim of the coffee mug? He just reapplied it onto the cup. If he licks the back of the poison stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if he put the coffee mug to his mouth? Those poison traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing, it was the other way around. The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Misham. Mr. Misham poisoned the coffee mug himself. Makes sense. So why's the frame licked? Order. But that doesn't... Does it? Recall if you would. Atroquinin is the slow-acting poison, yes? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on that envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of joe, which was like 15 minutes later. You have something to add, Mr. Brushel? His nose is picking up another scent. As I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. But you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one. Maybe he just run out? Incidentally, we searched his desk drawer at the scene of the crime, so there was no stamps, not a single one. That does pose a problem. How will you prove the stamp was coated with poison? Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving the stamp he used was poisoned possible. Good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. Where's your evidence that proves the existence of this poisoned stamp? I mean, it'd be this, right? Well, why would you frame a stamp? Well, that certainly is a cute little frame. And by little, I mean really little. It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself. I noticed that during my inspections. So what? Apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important. Missing something. Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Atroquinin residue. What? Why wasn't I told about this? The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most? You aren't saying. Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps? Order. The poison stamp was in this frame. Impossible. But Prosecutor Gavin, why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had this so he could commit suicide if the mood struck. You know, can I say something? I had a thought, see? What, Mr. Brushel? And please stop jittering around like that. The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in the line of that word. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too, end quote. So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him.
Objection!
But who though? So he got mailed a bomb. Oh, rich. That's rich. Leave the ridiculous flight so fancy to the Gavin's song lyrics, please. Finally, something we agree on. The stamp was a murder weapon. Nonsense. Murder's a simple business. Who would go such lengths? No one. Oh, I disagree. Come again? Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Misham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. The mail. Now, if you wanted to kill someone, you could meet, but you knew red letters. A stamp would be the perfect weapon. Well, putting a bomb in a mail would work, yes. Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Shows evidence as this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon. I might not have evidence per se, but things are finally starting to come together. I mean, the red letter, right? I mean, that was basically blackmail. Well, what is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling. I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Misham was killed. Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice. A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stance of death. Well, it'd just be this, right? Isn't this the envelope, the one from 7 years ago? Think about the text of the letter again. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelopes with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. Wait, but this was 7 years ago. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. Ah. In other words, if I have it straight, the stamp, poison, on the stamp, lick, lick. End quote. Now what if he had done exactly as the letter asked? He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox. 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene. Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system. Such a splendid imagination you have there, Forehead. Let me confirm this one thing with you, if I may. So this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago, ja? Is that what you'd have us believe, really? Well, it is a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility. Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? A poison stamp in this envelope. A stamp that then becomes a murder weapon. How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence? Well, it was 7 years ago. We don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silent. I see. Very well. I move to. It's not nice to pick on the Fraulein Clavier. Wait, what? Gavin? Wait, what the hell is he doing here? Emma? What the hell are they doing here? Emma? Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression? Did I sound like him? Oh, that was just her. Don't quit your day job. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein detective? Someone had to come dig you out of all this mess you're making of this case. Mess? You know, none of this would happen if you just trusted in science a little more. You can find out if that stamp was in the envelope, easy. Care to explain yourself, Fraulein detective? Glare me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right? That's right, the poison detection spray. Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court. I mean, I guess it'd be right here, yeah. Well, that was easy. Well, would you look at that? No mistaking it. That's atroquinine residue. Damn, so this guy put a bomb. I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Objection!
Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago? Well, there's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out. Figured what out? He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead, so he sent his reply with a different stamp. And put his decisive evidence in a frame? I also find that hard to believe. You're still here? Can I make a statement on the record? I, Spark, Razor Toothbrushel, claim this scoop as mine. Drew Misham killed in cold blood. By sender of 7-year-old letter. End quote. No, maybe something more succinct. Star falls after a 7-year delay. End quote. Oof, I hate this guy. Order, order, order. I see no room for further argument here. Though I admit this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp his ticket straight to Afterlife. End quote. Uh-oh. I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge. I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant. Apollo, I think we just won. Very well, this court finds the defendant...
Objection!
Is this the bright future of our legal system? Prosecutor, Gavin? A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Gavin's shows are invalid after 2 weeks. He's saying that poison should have expired. But it doesn't make any sense any other way. It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in a forehead's claim. A contradiction? A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago. Whereupon it was framed up until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Misham have done what he did? Emma explained that he must have realized it was poison. If he knew it was poison, why did he eat it? Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sends a trap and puts the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why 7 years later did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot. He put the murder weapon in a frame in his desk for 7 years and forgot? You expect us to believe he sprung the trap on himself? You got a point. I think we need to do more investigating. While I admit this is all quite shocking, myself, it does seem highly unlikely that he would fall foul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years. Apollo, I don't think we're winning anymore. I'm glad that we're all back into the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
Objection!
Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope? It's a poison stamp. Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to the court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed. What about the atroquinine residue, huh? Oh, I agree. That does seem to be atroquinine residue. But here, forehead, it's certainly no stamp. Yeah, but even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Misham would never have used it. So that's it all. I believe we've come to a conclusion. Again. Apollo, we were wrong the whole time? I can't believe it. The poison traces match up and it can't be a coincidence. I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison atroquinine on the document inside the envelope. A similar trace was also found at the crime scene on this tiny picture frame. The defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope, an envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it. Yes, but even if this envelope contains a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, puts it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp. I'm afraid you're right, which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case. I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. The trace of atroquinine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Misham's mysterious death are all connected somehow. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us? The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense. which means that one of our clues must be a fake. Ah, fake clue. Fascinating. If we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, Sha. The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison trail is none other than... Fake. If the red envelope's fake, I mean, maybe the frame, maybe Drew Mission. No, I mean, he died. We even have his autopsy. I mean, it would have to be a frame. Why would you, like, keep a frame, right? That's, like, the odd part. Of all the things, that's, like, the weirdest thing here. This frame is the fake clue. Without a doubt, Your Honor.
Objection!
Wasn't it you who presents this as evidence to the court? Oh. Hold on a sec, Apollo. The poison on the envelope, the frame, and the coffee mug, they're all connected somehow. Oh, right. Drew Mission. That's the person connected to all of these. The victim was a fake clue. I'm afraid I don't understand. I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself.
Objection!
Congratulations, you've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than a master of fake himself, it's a forger. It makes a good story. I'll give you that. Fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. I know that face. That's the I had an idea face. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyways. You think he's faked his own death? What if our forger is the fake? There's no way he faked his own death, right? Come again? 7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why? That's what I want to know. Because the forger who was killed was a fake. Here we are again. The victim was a fake. One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's two forgers, and one of them was a fake. I'm saying they can't be the same person, because they had two different reactions to a trap. Order, order, order. So you're telling us that Drew Mission, the victim, was a fake. Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo. I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us who the real Drew Mission was. Drew Mission wasn't the real forger. There's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Drew... Holy fuck. Forger Drew Mission was himself a... Fuck, I can't read for shit. Forger Drew Mission was himself a forgery. The real forger was... I hope I'm right.
Take that!
There can be only one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger known as Drew Misham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham. Order, order, order. Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb, even for you. I kinda agree. I mean, Vera, a forger? Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This can only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger. Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense. One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham. If we know that Dream Mission wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Mission. Well? So she's guilty of a different crime. Fascinating. But not murder. Someone tried killing her. Vera Mission. You've been paying attention to the trial so far. Let's just ask her and be done with this, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger, Dream Mission? Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face. I'm used to being stared at by Fwa Lens, believe me, though they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes. So the forger, Drew Misham, was you? Yes, it was me. What? What? Okay. The court was in uproar, and it wasn't coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. Bro, I lost. I don't know if I needed more cups of coffee, or I'm just confused as fuck. We'll save this for tomorrow, but I'm busy tomorrow, actually. Maybe Monday. Maybe tomorrow. If it's gonna be tomorrow, it's gonna be late. Like in the evening. Bro, I'm confused as fuck. I wonder if other people were confused as fuck. I don't know. Alright. That's a good stopping point, because if I go any further, then I'll have to, like, stop short, and then the flow's ruined. That's it for me for today. Hope you guys have the rest of your day. Peace!